Good evening, this is Tarun Ghulati, independent candidate for Mayor of London. I'm absolutely delighted to be in the company of an old friend, Hiro. Hiro, such a pleasure to see you.
Nice to meet you.
You've been traveling globe-trotting.
Yeah.
Now you're back in London. What do you see? Any changes? What excites you these days?
Nothing excites me about London. I'm a bit disappointed with the current setup. I was in India now, and a lot of my friends, top CEOs, were saying that they're scared to come to London because of the crime rate that's happening. A lot of them have lost their mobile phones, their watches. The women are scared to wear their jewelry. I myself, when I go to the West End, I don't wear my watch and my kada. This stuff. I kind of go without this because I don't know who's going to attack. Just the other day, a friend of mine was walking in Mayfair with his phone. A guy came on a cycle, grabbed it, and
I'm sorry to hear that.
He had to go to the Apple store, and they told him 20 such cases are happening every day in each of their stores. So I think this is a major problem right now. And with the cop station closing down, I don't see visibility of the cops so much. I don't see the cop station like in St. John's Wood has been shut.
Yes.
Who do we go to? And now they make it all on computer. A friend's bicycle, expensive bicycle, got stolen, and they said, "Do complain on a computer." I mean, what's going on here?
Listen, Hiro, as the next Mayor of London, I've got just the solutions for you. Firstly, you talked of visible policing. I will bring back visible policing.
Mm-hmm.
The police stations need to be reopened because crime is rising, and unless you have somebody on the ground who you can go to, it wouldn't help. I also need to review the compensation because I want to bring the best talent into policing. A segmented approach where all genders are protected, particularly women. You know, they go out and they're looking over the shoulder, that's not great. I also want a league table for police stations and policemen because I want to make sure preventative and solution-driven approach where if somebody is not performing, there's something wrong. So I want to eradicate crime and tackle crime with a fervor that's never been seen before.
It has to be done on a very strong footing.
You've got to have a strong.
The other issue that we are facing is, I'm personally facing, and I'm sure millions of other people, is the NHS. It's broken down. I had a knee issue and they gave me 1 year waiting list just for an appointment.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So I had to go to India and get it fixed. I think that's really pushing it.
I think you make a very valid point. We live in a democracy. We all pay into a common purse.
Exactly.
With the expectation that the elected representatives will deliver for us. They'll make sure social services like the NHS and others, policing works for us. It's actually at its lowest ebb as we speak. And as the next Mayor of London, I want to find solutions. I want to make sure that social service, I want to be a strong voice, even where I don't have direct control, to ensure our citizens, Londoners, bring back the smiles on the faces of each Londoner. So I hope that should...
There are many other issues. It's not the only one, the ones I'm saying. You have constant tube strikes happening. You have a 20 miles per hour driving restriction on the roads. I mean, how should I come in a bullock cart?
Well, back to India then in the good old days.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think you make a very valid point here. Firstly, tube strikes should not be the norm here. We are living in London. Everything should be running effectively, efficiently. That has to stop. So again, we need to review compensation, have a dialogue with the unions. What's happening is nobody's grappling with this situation. And unless you want to find solutions, you don't find them. I'm going to tackle that. I've handled unions all over the world. I'm going to make sure we review that again. This 20 mile per hour limit, unless it's absolutely necessary close to a school or a hospital, will become history. I promise you. This needs to go. Maybe you should also be aware there is something known as the ULEZ, the ultra low emission zone.
Well,
I know it doesn't impact you sitting here,
but
folks coming from outside. They're paying £12.50. I'm going to abolish that totally. Not just the expansion, totally.
You'll make a lot of people happy.
Well, it's not about making people happy, it's about doing the right thing.
and they are killing the joy of people who are living in the city. And if this carries on, we are in trouble. And I'm just hoping, that you come in and take over.
Well, firstly, Hiro, thank you so much. Great to see you. Thank you for highlighting your concern. Let me tell you what I plan to do as a mayor. Firstly, security is paramount, and you're very correct. It's at its lowest ebb as we speak.
Absolutely.
I want policemen on the beat, visible policing, which means more policemen. We're going to also review their pay scales, because at the end of the day, if you don't pay well, you don't get good talent. We must reopen those police stations because crime is rising, and the only way to sort that is actually some home for the policemen.
Correct.
So we got to have that. We also, you mentioned women, and indeed safety for women. They shouldn't be scared. They should be willing to go out at any time they feel like, not looking over the shoulder. So I'm creating a segmented approach, making sure all genders feel secure, particularly women. And indeed, you want to make sure children feel safe. They're being exploited.
Absolutely.
Once we do all that, I think we can all
And also, I forgot to tell you about the tube strikes. It's happening every month. You can't get on a tube and just be, normal. Then you have doctor strikes going on. I mean, is this guy really real? Is he really running a city, or is he some cowboy,
Now, you made some valid points. I think the key is that freedom of movement is as important as the freedom of speech. You've got to get London moving again. With that movement will come growth. For that, we will abolish ULEZ, the ultra low emission zone.
Fantastic.
Totally.
That is
not just the expansion. The 20 mile per hour limit needs to go, needs to become history, unless it's warranted where, look, listen, you got a hospital, you got a school, you got to keep those going.
Yeah, sure.
The low traffic neighborhoods, and you got to discuss with the council, and these need to go also, because you got to take a circuitous route from point A to point B, and that's not helping. Congestion charge needs to go back as it used to be.
Exactly.
No congestion charge over weekends and holidays.
Exactly.
And you did mention strikes. I've dealt with unions in several countries. I'm going to again look at their compensation, because a lot of this is because people are disenchanted with what they're doing and what they're paid. You've got to have a discussion with them, then find a common path. And indeed, communities are feeling broken.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got to bring them all together. If London used to be a place where you and I had a good time, you mentioned the West End, that nightlife is all gone.
Gone. And
So
also
totally gone.
they've taken out the VAT. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
A lot of my friends from all over the world, they don't want to come here. They go for shopping to Paris, to Milan. They don't need to come here, and firstly they fear the crime.
Yes.
Then they don't get VAT for, and these are big
The
spenders.
duty-free shopping is not going to happen, And listen, this is like a global bank where people converge, multicultural, diverse cuisines, you name it.
Exactly.
And it's a capital where you have, well, Milan has the fashion capital, maybe the US has Hollywood. You have everything blended here, but it's all going away slowly. You've got to bring back the nightlife. You've got to make sure the cultural diversity of the city remains, and the cultural industries, in fact, are key sort of contributors to the economy. 1 out of 5 individuals is working in that, the creative industry. You've got to bring back that mojo for London, bring back the smiles of everyone. I'm very, very grateful for you highlighting these concerns. I promise you, as the next mayor of London, we'll alleviate all these concerns and bring back all our friends so that
You have the full backing of all our communities.
Such a pleasure.
All the best.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Hiro Harjani. I support Tarun Ghulati for the next candidacy of being the mayor of London, and I hope and wish everyone comes out and votes for him so that we can have a transformational change in London. Thank you.